From empty seats to sold-out crowds, Michael Jordan's impact on the NBA changed everything. So today, let's find out if Caitlin Clark is really the white female version of Jordan. From the days of sparse attendance at Chicago Stadium to the era of consistent sellouts, Michael Jordan's arrival and success with the Chicago Bulls significantly transformed the NBA's popularity landscape. The impact was nothing short of revolutionary, turning what was once a relatively niche sport into a global phenomenon. When Michael Jordan first stepped onto the court in '84, the Chicago Bulls were far from the household name they would become. Attendance was lackluster, with games often empty. However, with Jordan's electrifying performances, the tide began to shift dramatically. In his first season, attendance soared by an astonishing 87%. This was just the beginning of a trend that would see the Bulls selling out every night by the '88 and '89 season. The energy around Jordan was intense, drawing in fans from all walks of life who were captivated by his athleticism, skill, and competitive drive. But Jordan's influence didn't stop at the domestic level. His global appeal was a key factor in elevating the NBA's international presence. The Air Jordan brand, which began as a partnership with Nike, became a cultural phenomenon that transcended borders and cultures. Jordan's participation in the 1992 Olympic Dream Team further cemented his status as a global icon, introducing him to an international audience that had previously been unfamiliar with the NBA. This exposure not only increased the league's viewership, but also turned basketball into a more global sport, attracting fans from every corner of the world. So, are we about to see the potential for Caitlin Clark to mirror this effect on the WNBA? Well, Clark's dynamic playing style and early success has already begun to attract new fans to women's basketball. Her ability to score, pass, and make plays under pressure has drawn comparisons to some of the greatest players in the game. The question now, though, is, can she sustain this momentum and become the face of the WNBA and change the league just as Jordan did? When we look at initial signs of increased attendance or viewership in games featuring Caitlin Clark, it's too early to draw definitive answers just yet, but there are promising indicators. Clark's games have seen a noticeable spike in viewership, with fans tuning in to witness her incredible skills firsthand. This increased interest could be the catalyst for a broader movement, potentially leading to higher attendance figures and greater recognition for the WNBA. This brings us to the potential for Caitlin Clark to become a pivotal figure in promoting the WNBA and women's basketball. Her talent and charisma make her an ideal ambassador for the league, capable of attracting sponsors and fans from around the world. If Clark can continue to perform at her current level, she could inspire a new generation of female basketball players, much like Jordan did for the NBA. The parallels between their situations are intriguing, with both players possessing the ability to transcend their sport and capture the imagination of a wider audience. Michael Jordan's impact on NBA popularity was nothing short of phenomenal, transforming the league from a relatively niche sport into a global powerhouse. As we look to the future, Caitlin Clark's early success suggests she could have a similar effect on the WNBA, drawing in new fans and elevating the profile of women's basketball. She's already increased ticket sales dramatically and brought in more eyeballs than ever before. But when we talk about Michael Jordan's impact on the NBA, it's hard to overlook his revolutionary influence on athlete endorsements and sports marketing. The Air Jordan brand, born from his partnership with Nike, transformed the way athletes could leverage their marketability beyond their on-court performances. This wasn't just about selling shoes. It was about creating a cultural phenomenon that would change the sports industry forever. So the question becomes, does Caitlin Clark possess this same potential? Before Jordan, athlete endorsements were not as common or lucrative. However, Jordan's success with the Air Jordan brand paved the way for athletes to become powerful brand ambassadors. His ability to seamlessly blend his on-court excellence with off-court charisma set a new standard for athlete endorsements. Brands began to seek out athletes not just for their athletic skills, but for their marketability and appeal to a broader audience. The Jordan effect extended far beyond basketball, influencing how athletes from different sports approach their off-field ventures. Today, athletes like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry have their own signature lines, competing with Jordan's brand. This shift has turned athletes into entrepreneurs, allowing them to build their own brands and business ventures, a legacy that Jordan helped establish. Next, we have Caitlin Clark, who is making waves in the WNBA with her dynamic playing style and charisma much like Jordan. But while Clark is still in the early stages of her career, her potential to attract new fans to the WNBA is undeniable. She has already secured several endorsement deals, which could pave the way for future WNBA stars to follow in her footsteps. Clark's marketability is not just about her on-court skills, but also about her personality and relatability. She has a strong social media presence, which helps her connect with fans and sponsors. This visibility is crucial for the WNBA, which has historically struggled to attract the same level of attention as the NBA. Clark's charm and talent could be the catalyst for increased viewership and attendance, mirroring Jordan's effect on the NBA in the 1980s and 90s. So much so that the term the Caitlin Clark effect was created. This term is very similar to the Jordan effect, where almost anything she touches or does turns to gold. When we consider the broader implications of Clark's marketing presence, though, she could easily become a key figure in promoting the WNBA and women's basketball, leveraging her talent and charisma to attract more sponsors and more fans. The WNBA has been working hard to increase its visibility, and players like Clark are at the forefront of this effort. Her success could lead to more endorsement opportunities for other WNBA players, creating a ripple effect that elevates the league as a whole. A lot of prominent NBA players are watching, reacting, and speaking about the WNBA more than ever before. So something she is doing is working. Clark's early success has already garnered significant attention, with fans and analysts praising her skills and marketability. As she continues to grow as a player and a brand, it will be interesting to see how she navigates the complex world of sports marketing. Will she follow in Jordan's footsteps and create a brand that transcends the sport, or will she carve out her own unique path? Whatever the case, it's clear that Caitlin Clark has the potential to be a game changer for the WNBA, both on and off the court. This brings us to the potential for Clark to become a face of the league. As she continues to perform at a high level and build her brand, she could inspire a new generation of female basketball players. Her influence could extend beyond the WNBA, making women's basketball more appealing to a broader audience. The question still remains, can Clark sustain this momentum and become the kind of cultural icon that Jordan did? But what about their similarities, like the on-court influence and playing styles of Michael Jordan and Caitlin Clark? Are they really that similar? Michael Jordan's on-court dominance is a tale of legends. With 6 NBA championships, 5 MVP awards, and 10 scoring titles, Jordan's achievements are a benchmark against which many players are measured. His playing style, a perfect blend of athleticism, skill, and competitive drive, inspired a generation of basketball players. Jordan's ability to score from anywhere on the court, combined with his defensive skills, made him a complete player. His influence on the game extends beyond his playing days. Many current NBA players still emulate his style and work ethic. For instance, players like Chris Paul and Donovan Mitchell have often spoken about the impact Jordan had on their careers, with Mitchell even wearing Jordan's secondary number 45 as a tribute. Jordan's playing style was not just about individual brilliance, it was also about being a team player. Despite the narrative that he was a selfish scorer, Jordan was known for his ability to set his teammates up. He set screens, passed with purpose, and was effective both with and without the ball. However, it's interesting to note that while Jordan's flashier plays captivated audiences, some of these aspects of his game were lost in translation, leading to a be-like Mike mentality that sometimes prioritized individual scoring over team play. What about when we look at Caitlin Clark's playing style? Well, Clark has already shown glimpses of greatness that could inspire a new generation of female basketball players. Her scoring ability is reminiscent of Jordan's. She has a knack for finding ways to score from anywhere on the court. Clark's court vision is also impressive, allowing her to facilitate for her teammates and control the tempo of the game. Her overall impact on the game is significant, and she has the potential to change the way teams approach the game in the WNBA. Her ability to pass behind the back, see everything on the court that's happening, and make complex shots like Jordan is very impressive. Clark's dynamic playing style could attract new fans to the WNBA, much like Jordan did for the NBA. Her ability to score in bunches and her competitive drive make her a compelling watch. As she continues to grow and develop, it's likely that Clark's performance will influence how teams strategize and prepare for games. For instance, her ability to score from the perimeter could lead teams to adopt more aggressive defensive strategies, while her court vision might encourage teams to focus more on ball movement and player movement without the ball. This brings us to how Clark's performance could shape the playing styles within the WNBA. As she continues to excel, other players may look to emulate her style, which could lead to a shift towards more versatile and dynamic play. The WNBA has already seen a trend towards more athletic and scoring-oriented players, and Clark is at the forefront of this movement. Her influence could also extend to the younger generation of female basketball players, inspiring them to work on their scoring, passing, and overall court awareness. In addition to her individual stats, Clark's leadership on the court is evident. She is vocal and communicative, constantly directing her teammates and encouraging them. This leadership quality is crucial for any team looking to succeed, and it's something that many young players will look up to and aspire to, just as Jordan did. The on-court influence and playing styles of Michael Jordan and Caitlin Clark are very similar, and we see two players who have left lasting impacts on their respective leagues. While Jordan's legacy continues to shape the NBA, Clark is poised to do the same for the WNBA. But will she be able to have the same cultural impact and legacy that Michael Jordan did? Michael Jordan's influence on basketball culture is a phenomenon that has endured long after his retirement. His impact on sneaker culture, for instance, is still felt today. The Air Jordan brand, which was launched in 1985, revolutionized the sneaker industry and turned athletic footwear into a fashion statement. This brand has continued to evolve, incorporating new designs and technologies, but its core appeal remains tied to Jordan's legacy. Jordan's style and fashion sense off the court became iconic. From his baggy shorts to his hoop earrings, he set trends that still influence athletes and fans today. His ability to blend athletic wear with casual fashion helped popularize the athleisure trend, which has become a staple in modern fashion. This brings us to how Caitlin Clark's emerging success could have a similar cultural impact on the WNBA and women's basketball. Clark's dynamic playing style and charismatic personality have the potential to inspire a new generation of young girls and women to take up the sport based on her scoring ability, court vision, and overall impact on the game, which are already making her a fan favorite, and her influence could extend beyond the court. But can she impact the culture like Jordan did? Some analysts have commented that the only reason Caitlin is getting the attention and positive exposure she is getting is because she is white. If she was to be a black female trying to make a name for herself in the WNBA, it would be a different story. She wouldn't be getting the same positive attention and opportunities. Clark's success could in fact pave the way for greater recognition and support for women's basketball. As she continues to excel, she may attract more fans to the WNBA, potentially leading to increased investment and visibility for the league. This could result in better facilities, more competitive salaries, and greater media coverage for women's basketball, all of which would be a direct result of Clark's influence. But could this all boil down to her skin color and the potential stigma that comes with it, which may prevent her from appealing to both sides? Jordan is a household name because he was at the forefront of the media revolution and at the front of the black community for the NBA at the same time. His skills were undeniable, but he also brought attention to a culture and community that had been lacking the support and attention needed. Can Caitlin step out of her shell and bring together the two cultures? Can she unite the men, women, and skin colors? Clark's rise to fame is happening in an era where women's sports are gaining more traction than ever before. Her achievements could be a catalyst for further growth, encouraging more young women to pursue careers in sports and inspiring a new wave of female athletes. But it seems she may have a larger job than what Jordan had. Jordan wasn't trying to appeal to both sexes, whereas Caitlin, although may not be trying, is getting attention from both, and this is new uncharted territory. Caitlin may in fact do something nobody has ever done before and unite sexes as well as cultures. As Clark's profile continues to grow, she is likely to secure endorsement deals and marketing opportunities that will further amplify her impact. This could make her a key figure in promoting the WNBA and women's basketball, leveraging her talent and charisma to attract sponsors and fans. The potential for her to become a global icon, much like Michael Jordan, is significant, and her influence could extend beyond the basketball court to impact fashion, sports marketing, and popular culture as a whole. So, from Michael Jordan's unparalleled influence on the NBA to Caitlin Clark's emerging impact on the WNBA, we see two athletes who are not just changing the game but also the culture surrounding it. Jordan's legacy continues to shape basketball and sports marketing, while Clark is poised to do the same for women's basketball. As we watch Clark's career unfold, it's clear that she has the potential to become the new age female Michael Jordan, inspiring a generation of athletes and fans alike. Only time will tell what will happen.